Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dr. Tao's Quant Lab. So far, we have built some incredibly precise timing tools using the RSI and the KDJ. But those pure price oscillators share one major limitation. Price can be manipulated. Price is just the result of a temporary auction. Volume is the actual capital. Volume is the fuel driving the engine. Today, we are going to upgrade our momentum algorithms by injecting volume directly into the mathematics. We are covering three tools: unbalanced volume, OBV, the money flow index, MFI, and ease of movement, EMV. The first indicator is unbalanced volume, or OBV. OBV keeps a running cumulative total of volume. If a stock closes green, it adds the entire day's volume. If it closes red, it subtracts it. We use this to decide institutional capital flow. If a price is rising and volume is expanding, that is accumulation. Institutions are actively buying. If a price is falling and volume is expanding, that is distribution. Institutions are aggressively dumping. But there is the trap. If a price is rising, but the volume is decaying, that is a retail float. There is no institutional money supporting the rally, and the violent mean reversion is highly probable. Because OBV exposes true institutional sponsorship, its greatest predictive power comes from divergence. Look at this classic bearish divergence on NVIDIA. In January, the price makes a massive new all-time high from here to here. But look down at the OBV. It peaks much lower than it did in November. The volume didn't support the high. Institutions were secretly distributing their shares to retail traders who were blindly buying the breakout. The result was a massive crash. Conversely, look at this horizontal accumulation phase. The price is chopping sideways in a tight box. Retail thinks the stock is dead, but the OBV suddenly breaks out vertically. Here, institutions are aggressively accumulating shares, keeping the price flat while they load the bot. This OBV breakout correctly predicts the massive vertical price markup before it even happens. And all of these phenomena or divergences are summarized right here. And for all three indicators we introduced today, you can easily find them in your trading app. For example, you just type OBV and then you can find it in your trading app. Now, when OBV is cumulative and unbounded, what if we want to combine to 1 to 100 bounding box of the RSI with a volume data? We use the money flow index, MFI. Instead of just looking at the closing price, MFI calculates the typical price, the exact average of the high, low, and close. The multiples it by the daily volume to get the raw money flow. Because MFI is bounded between 0 and 100, we have strict execution rules. A reading over 80 signals severe distribution, but we only sell if we hit structural resistance. A reading under 20 signals deep capitulation, but we only buy if we hit structural support. Because MFI requires actual capital to move its lines, its divergence signals are statistically pristine. Look at this MFI bullish divergence. The price drops to a terrifying new lower low from here to here. But the MFI prints a massive higher low from here to here, refusing to drop back down to 20. The selling procedure had entirely evaporated. Smart money was quietly buying the retail panic, and the stock reversed beautifully from here to here. And again, to find this indicator, you can simply type MFI in your trading app, like what we did before. And this divergence was summarized here. Okay, finally, we use ease of moment or EMV. Where OBV tracks total fuel, EMV measures how efficiently that fuel moves the car. Mathematically, it divides the daily price change by the daily volume. The default parameters are 14 and 9. The main line is a 14-day average of movement efficiency. The second line, the EMVA, is a slower 9-day signal line. If the EMV crosses above the zero line, okay, so right here, the stock is advancing easily on light volume. The path of at least resistance is up. If it crosses below zero, it is falling effortlessly. But if EMV flatlens exactly at zero, where volume is massive, it means a heavy institutional battle is happening. Massive capital is yielding zero price progress, meaning a major breakout is imminent. Look at this chart of Tesla. In the first blue box, the first EMV crosses below the signal line, a death cross. The path of at least resistance becomes downward, and the stock bleeds out. But weeks later, in the second blue box, the EMV crosses back above the signal line. That golden cross proves the buyers have eliminated resistance, and the massive rally immediately follows. For golden cross, we have, and death cross we have summarized here. Okay, but here is the golden rule of the quant lab. Never rely on a single indicator in isolation. OBV, MFI, and EMV are exceptional at reading internal capital flow, but they are just pieces of a larger puzzle. You must always stack them with structural trend boundaries. We will formalize this system of indicator confluence in the final section of this chapter. See you in the quant lab.